Hello, everyone. In today's video, I'll express my thoughts and feelings about MS Marvel's Episode 2. This episode contains various references to the MCU, Bollywood, songs, and comic books. I'll also try to provide you with a little bit of hidden details here and there. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, Episode 2 begins with the song, Feels So Good, by singer Mage playing in the background. Kamala walks confidently into the school corridor after discovering her power. This gave her the confidence to go greet her classmate and stand up for herself, eventually correcting a school coach on her name pronunciation. The sudden introduction of a new character was the only thing that threw her off balance. Cameron, Rishi Shah, a tall, attractive, newly transferred British Asian senior on whom she develops a crush on instantly. In this episode, she certainly has a lot on her plate. They've also attempted to disguise the comic book's Easter egg here. When Kamala makes her fist big, that is similar to the powers in the comic book. But it's clear that she can't handle this easily. She can enlarge any of her body parts, just like in comics. But it's a little more tough here. She can pull it off, but she lacks the superhuman strength to manage the powers. In the next scene, we see Bruno and Kamala discussing the incident in the Avenger Con, and she humorously compares herself to Ant-Man's power because she and Scott Lang appear much younger than they are. The Easter eggs in the MCU are still a delight. Next, we see that after that incident in Avenger Con, Zoe has grown in popularity, and social media has given MS Marvel the nickname Nightlight. Following that, we watch a whole sequence of her training montage with Bruno. We also get to hear Thor's name, and a minor hidden element here is that we see a small advertisement or sign for Iron Brand cereal, which was a real-life limited edition cereal to promote Iron Man. Also, Bruno comes to the conclusion that her powers are not coming from the bracelet. But, it's her own inner powers, the bracelet is just helping to channel them. This is the same in the comics too. They also saw that the bracelet had something inscribed in Arabic or Urdu. Kamala also discovers that the burst of blue light she shoots with her hand hardens, and therefore she names herself Hardlight. Kamala and Bruno have also recreated a scene from Black Widow here. Meanwhile, Zoe hosts a massive party to commemorate the incident, and she obviously decides to go because of her newfound crush Kamran. Then we see Kamala's friend Nakir in the following scene. They were both praying at the mosque, masjid, and the women's section was in really bad condition. The tiles were cracking and so far away that they couldn't even hear the prayers. Later, Kamala tries to convince Nakir to run for the mosque board election. She was pretty hesitant at first. However, once her shoes go missing, in the following scene, after returning home from the mosque, she apologizes to her mother for the incident and even convinces her to let her go to the party. At the party, her crush intensifies on him. However, cops break into the party unexpectedly. So, in a rush, Kamala and her friends left the party in Kamran's car, where they talked and bonded. They are especially fond of SRKS Bazigar and DDLJ. He even gave her his phone number and offered to teach her how to drive. Yes, Bruno was becoming increasingly jealous of their growing friendship. When she returned home, she was overjoyed by their closeness. She was also wearing Black Widow's comic design t-shirt. There is a downside to having and she managed to flee in the restroom, and Nakia followed her. They also had an emotional talk during which Nakia described why she wears the hijab and how she has struggled with her ethnicity her whole life. Meanwhile, Bruno comes to know that he has been accepted into an all-expenses-paid program at Caltech. Bruno is clearly skeptical about it, because it means he'll be away from New Jersey and his best friend, Kamala, for quite some time. Later in the house, Kamala's father tells her the story of her grandmother, Sana, who was separated from her parents during the chaos of the 1947 partition that divided India and Pakistan. Despite the fact that her mother, Aisha, had vanished, Sana followed, a trail of stars, back to her father. Hearing this, her bangle activates, immersing her in the strange visions of a mysterious woman. She then passes out. In the following scene, she calls her grandmother to learn more about that woman. Later on, she even asked her mom about Aisha. But she wasn't happy and was clearly upset when her name was mentioned. Kamala's mother is aware that she is hiding something. However, Kamala is hoping to get more answers at the Eid celebration. Zoe Zimmer, on the other hand, was brought to the DODC office for interrogation just as Peter Parker was. They believe the women at Avenger Con were dangerous. But Zoe insisted that she had indeed saved her life. They somehow learn about her ethnicity through Zoe, that she is South Asian. Kamala and her friends, Bruno and Nakia, kept trying to convince people to vote for Nakia in the mosque election during the Eid celebration. Kamala also tries to learn more about Aisha from her mother's friends. But they're clearly saying bad things about her, like she killed someone and has so many secret affairs and even a secret family. After that, we see a boy take a selfie from the tower before falling down. But Kamala attempted to save him, she managed to rescue him clumsily. A lot of people witnessed this, so she quickly went viral. She attempts to flee the scene. However, DODC officers chased her and nearly captured her. But, just at the exact moment, Cameron appears and saves her. Then, we came to know that he knew her secret identity. Also, the mystery woman from her visions was in the backseat of Cameron's car, and he introduces her as his mom. Overall, Marvel's Episode 2 was enjoyable. It was a mixture of friendship, love, curiosity, and mystery. Despite all of these themes, it doesn't feel rushed or overwhelming. They've done all of the plotting and story directing, as well as paused at the right time. Personally, I enjoyed this episode because they are developing the plot and showing many aspects of teenage life. Naturally, with a superhero vibe. Did you enjoy the episode? Aside from Kamala, who was your favorite character? And what do you expect to happen in the upcoming episode? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments section below. Also, be sure to hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe if you haven't already. So until then, take care.